I will be recording this presentation. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this virtual information session about the 2023 Sustainable Public Service Initiative. I am Samantha McGraw, Senior Program Manager for Sustainable Jersey, and I am happy to welcome you here today, along with members of the Montclair State University PSEG Institute for Sustainability Studies. There we go. We do have a few housekeeping requests. So as I said, this information session is being recorded, so please mute your audio until the Q&A period at the end of the presentation. We are hoping to keep the content of the session short to allow ample time for questions at the end. And please feel free to also turn off your cameras for the session as well. If you would like to chat with other attendees or enter questions for the panelists to answer at the end of the presentation, please use the chat feature. And I am also going to All right, so we are also providing a live transcript of today's presentation. So if you're not already seeing the transcript as I'm speaking, you will have to enable that option by clicking the live transcript button in your control panel and then enable transcript. The presentation and recording will be posted on the Sustainable Jersey website. It'll be on the resources, presentations, webinars page, and then under the certification and recertification section. So Sustainable Jersey is excited to partner with the PSEG Institute for Sustainability Studies at Montclair State University for the second year to match upper level students with Sustainable Jersey participating municipalities in need of help to complete specific Sustainable Jersey actions. This is a chance for students to take part in a valuable experiential learning opportunity while simultaneously helping municipalities work on actions that will help them achieve Sustainable Jersey certification. We know that municipalities face different challenges as they navigate the certification and action completion process. So this is a really great opportunity to apply for assistance in completing priority actions or others that require data collection and analysis and marketing skills. So how does it work? Municipal green teams identify specific actions they would like to pursue and submit an online application. And then based on the actions, a student with related coursework or experience will be assigned to the municipality. And then depending on their program of study, the student will commit to approximately 80 hours of time in the February to April 2023 timeframe to make progress on the actions under the guidance of their instructor and an assigned municipal contact. So as you are planning your work on actions, please just keep the 2023 certification cycle timeline in mind if you are thinking about applying for certification. So as you may have seen, based on feedback from participants and the desire to recognize all municipalities at the Sustainable Jersey Annual Luncheon, we are implementing a new certification cycle timeline in 2023. The first application deadline is February 26th. There will still be 3 rounds of submission and review. You can submit your application for the first time in any of the 3 rounds. However, we do highly recommend that you submit in February or May so that you can get feedback on your application prior to the final application deadline. If certification is not achieved following the final round of review, the next opportunity to submit for certification will be in 2024. We also just held a webinar about the 2023 certification cycle this week on Tuesday, and that is posted on our website. Also on the same page where this will be posted on the webinars page. So if you are thinking about applying, I would definitely watch that recording or view the presentation to learn more. And now I'd like to introduce Emma Nunez Perez, Assistant Director of the PSEG Institute for Sustainability Studies at Montclair State University's Sustainable Public Service Initiative, which is providing the opportunity to connect students with our Sustainable Jersey Green teams.
Thanks for the introduction, Samantha. Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you. As Sam said, I'm the Assistant Director for the PSEG Institute for Sustainability Studies. I'll be the main contact for PSEG ISS. For those of you who have not heard of us, just a little bit about us. We're going into our 8th year of the Green Teams internship program, which takes place over the course of 10 weeks over the summer months. That includes students of all various different discipline backgrounds and majors come together in groups of 5 teams to help different organizations, community partners work on sustainability challenges. Another one of our programs that we've had is Sustainability Ambassadors, where undergraduate Montclair State students come and work on a specific sustainability project on campus. We also have the Work to Succeed program that's funded by partners, where a student can work with an organization, usually a nonprofit, throughout the academic year for a certain amount of time. We also provide a lot of research based upon different projects happening during the summer and whatnot, or working with students who are in the sustainability department. And we also have a new initiative, well, not very new. We launched it in April of 2021 called the Refresh Podcast. We're now on Spotify and SoundCloud, where we interview young professionals entering the field, the career field, not just sustainability, but who kind of have a intertwining with sustainability. So if you're ever interested, you can just look us up and you can find us there. We have a new episode coming out every Thursday, and our new episodes are very engaging, so I'd recommend that. So thanks for being here, and we're excited to partner with Sustainable Jersey again on this initiative. So the overall objectives of the Sustainable Public Service, this is our 2nd iteration of the program. The purpose is really to engage upper level Montclair State students in local sustainability projects. We do try to cater to juniors and seniors for this type of initiative, just because those classes tend to have more independent study options or internship requirements. And we have a partnership with Sustainable Jersey to provide municipalities with help completing the Sustainable Jersey actions. So prior to offering actions to you all and having this webinar, we have connected with about 5 professors who have agreed to offer this opportunity to their classes and work with us in this initiative. So these are just some different degree programs based upon the classes that we have connected with and the professors. So students who will be working with you this semester will come from sustainability science, biology, anthropology and sociology, mathematics, and environmental science. And there could be some more, but these are just the main majors, I would say. And just to recap from last year, points submitted by municipalities and approved in 2022 include points for diversity on boards and commissions, which I believe is a priority action, fleet inventory, and private well and outreach and testing. There were other categories that were submitted for points, but either were not approved or had to go back and be revised. So I'll hand this over to Samantha now about the certification requirements.
Thanks, Emma. So as we start to transition to talking about actions you can consider submitting for as part of the opportunity, this is just a quick reminder of the certification requirements. So to attain bronze certification, you need at least 150 points, the mandatory green team, 2 priority actions, and then actions completed in 6 categories. And for silver, you need at least 350 points, the green team, 3 priority actions, and actions in 8 of the categories. So these are the actions that municipalities can request assistance with this year. Please note that this list includes priority actions and identifies if any of the actions also contribute toward a gold star. So if you happen to be thinking about applying for any of those, you can keep some of these actions in mind as well. Oftentimes when a municipality is working on certification, they have enough points required, but they're not approved for the required number of priority actions. So as we've mentioned earlier, you may want to consider submitting for one of these priority actions. Additionally, all certified municipalities are eligible to earn Gold Star recognition for reaching high levels of achievement in energy, health, and water. More information about the Gold Star standards are on our Gold Star standards page of the website. And as I said, if you are thinking about or starting to work on any of the gold actions, you may want to keep some of these actions in mind as well. I'm going to provide a brief overview of all of these eligible actions so you know what the general work entailed requires and what the action generally is about. But for the full action details, including information about who should be involved, the guidance for completing the action, and resources to help you, and also what you will actually need to submit to earn approval for the action, please see the individual action descriptions, which are available on the actions page of our website. So the Community Equity and Diversity Profile Action is new for the program in 2022. It was introduced in June. This action assists municipalities in painting a full picture of diversity in their community by creating a simple demographic and spatial profile with a focus on identifying residents who are socially vulnerable or have special communication needs. So the action awards points for creating an equity profile report that's presented to the governing body that describes the diversity of the community with demographic data, describes neighborhood level diversity with maps, identifies social groups that are vulnerable, marginalized, or who have distinct communication needs, and identifies the key communication barriers and networks of these groups. The Diversity on Boards and Commissions action is another priority action, and it provides an assessment process for communities to be aware of the degree of inclusivity and representation on their municipal boards and commissions. It requires the completion of a community diversity profile and an assessment and compilation of the results of the boards and commissions evaluation and final recommendations, which are presented to the governing body. The Green Business Recognition Program action is another priority action. This is intended to encourage local businesses to implement sustainable practices. To earn points for this action, a municipality can either create their own green business recognition program or incorporate the criteria that was established by the New Jersey Sustainable Business Registry and include participation of their businesses in that registry to earn points for that action in our program. Energy assistance outreach. This was another new action that was implemented in 2022. The goal of this action is to promote the adoption of energy efficiency incentives and/or bill payment resources among low and moderate income residents through community outreach and outreach to nonprofit organizations that support these residents. This outreach directly benefits residents by helping them reduce their energy costs. If you are interested in working on this action, please just disregard the note that's at the top of the action about the action itself being temporarily suspended. We hope to update this action in the coming months, and in the meantime, the students can work on identifying organizations that serve LMI communities, begin organizing meetings with these organizations, and identify events, newsletters, and other communications channels that can reach LMI communities. So you'll have all of that information compiled to submit for that action once it's updated in the near future. And Sustainable Jersey staff for this action and the other actions as well will be available to provide some training and support as well as you work with the students on these actions. The heat island mitigation, the heat island assessment, mitigation, and plan. So by reducing the magnitude of heat islands, municipalities can make their communities healthier, energy efficient, and equitable. This action awards points for conducting a heat island assessment, developing a list of recommendations to mitigate heat island and their impact on residents and workers, especially those belonging to vulnerable populations, and implementing recommendations from the heat island mitigation plan. Another action you can apply for is the municipal communication strategy. So a good communication strategy is essential for any municipality to get important information out to its residents. This action awards points to towns that assess the communication channels most used by residents, develop and implement a strategy to using those communication channels and makes their municipal websites easy to navigate with essential information posted on them for the community. Another action is a private well outreach and testing action. This is focused on increasing public education about the safety of drinking well water and encouraging proactive testing in drinking well water as well. And lastly is the Wildlife Interaction Plan. This is aimed at fostering positive human-wildlife interactions and resolving conflicts that may exist in your community with specific species such as deer or bears. The goal is to reduce problems resulting from human-wildlife interaction to a manageable and acceptable level to ensure that Indigenous species can continue to thrive within the community. Please just keep in mind that the scope of work and required support from the municipal staff or other officials may vary by action. So we just have a few tips as you're thinking about what action you might like to apply for. So are there any priority actions that you need in your application? If you're going for silver, keep in mind that you will need 3. And I always recommend that it's good to apply for one more priority action than you need. That way you have a backup in the event that one of them doesn't get approved. Do you need to get any actions in additional categories so that you qualify for certification? Sometimes municipalities might have the priority actions, the green team, and enough points, but they're missing one category. So make sure that you have all of your categories completed. Will there be municipal staff support available to assist the student? It's very critical that this be available to ensure a successful project outcome. Is there a community education and outreach component that's required in a lot of our actions and something that can be assisted with through this process? As I mentioned, are you working on a gold star? And if so, consider applying for one of the actions that contributes to the gold star standard that you're working on. And then lastly, is there something that your green team has always wanted to pursue, but maybe it didn't have the resources to do it? This is a great opportunity to work on one of those actions that has been on your wish list.
So now we'll go into the timeline for the year 2 for the Sustainable Public Service Initiative. So it starts off today, obviously, the municipality webinar for December 15th. Where we asked that the municipality applications be due January 13th. We know that is sort of a short turnaround, but we're hoping that with this webinar and sending out with the e-blasts, this recording and the online application as well within the next week or two, that'll be sufficient time. Meanwhile, students from at Montclair State University return to the university on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the day after, actually, on that Tuesday. So they'll have about 10 days to submit their application, and that'll be due January 27th. So then you'll see a 2-week gap between the 27th and February 13th. That's where we match the municipalities with the students, and we book some training depending on with municipality or with the municipality students and Sustainable Jersey staff to kind of go over expectations and the best way to approach the action together. And then on February 20th, students will begin to work with matched municipalities and students end work with matched municipalities. So those 80 hours that the students will be working will occur between February 20th and April 28th. And the reason why we chose April 28th is because that's about the week before the final exams start for the students. So, but every step of the way, we'll be in touch, and so will Sustainable Jersey, and as well as obviously yourselves and the student and their professor. So this is the protocol. We ask that you fill out the application. It's found in this presentation, as well as on the Sustainable Jersey website. You'll then be matched with a student. Then you can decide your modality. We do encourage, if you are close to Montclair, to have it in person, to have it be a more hands-on experience and for the student and yourself. You'll then work with the student to provide information, data, other resources. That'll most likely happen in the training week or 2 weeks. Student will then update municipality. We'll have an update with the liaison at least 1 time per week. And we do ask in the application itself that whoever is going to be the primary liaison for the municipality and working with the student itself to fill out that application or to put in that person's information, so we have the right point of contact. And then we also have the professors who will be, the students will be in the class with the professor. They will oversee the project, mentor them, and provide evaluation. And that'll vary by the program because some classes have an internship requirement, some don't. So it just depends on the type of class and how the professor chooses to oversee the student in the project. So for more information, obviously you can contact me at Montclair State University. My name is Emma Nunes Perez, but my email is Lavin E. That's my maiden name. So in case there's a confusion, that's me. And then for Sustainable Jersey, you can contact Maureen Jones. She's on here as well. info@sustainablejersey.com. And I think we have just one more slide after this that Samantha would like to go over. So thank you for attending today.
Yeah, thanks, Emma. And so just before we close, I just wanted to share with you some Sustainable Jersey events, grants, and technical assistance that we also have in addition to this opportunity. So we do have a current cycle of the Sustainable Jersey Grants program that's funded by the PSEG Foundation. $200,000 is available to support efforts to implement projects that help municipalities gain points needed for Sustainable Jersey certification. $20,000, $10,000, and $2,000 grants are available. Applications are due Friday, February 10th, and you can learn more on our grants page of the website. We also have the Sustainable Jersey PSEG Partnership Program. Oops. That is not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Let me go back. So this initiative is available to municipalities who have PSEG as both their gas and electric utility. It offers technical assistance to utilize the available incentives to promote the residential commercial incentives that are available to your community. And more information about this opportunity is also available on the grants page of our website. And then lastly, save the date for our Sustainability Summit, which will be held a little bit earlier, which will be held a little bit earlier this year on Friday, May 5th, and we will be back at Bellworks in Holmdel. So with that, we're certainly happy to take any questions that you might have about this opportunity.
Looks like you have a question, David. I think you also asked it in the chat. You can talk if you'd like to.
Yeah, my question is, my town is Runnymede at exit number 3 of the Jersey Turnpike, which is a long way from Montclair State University. I've been to Montclair, and I know it's about 2-hour travel time, approximately. How are the logistics of this worked out if we were able to request someone to come in? We are in the PSEG area.
Yeah, I definitely, virtual is an option. We have worked virtually before in various programs. We did do an entire Green Teams program virtually with 40 students all across the country. So we're not a stranger to handling or, overseeing virtual projects. So if you do decide to do an action in our match with the student, that should not be a problem.
Well, I'm thinking in particularly if we're doing a fleet inventory, where our public service people have basically the information that's needed for that. I'm not sure how that would quite work out, going back and forth with someone who's up in Montclair.
So just one thing to note is that the actions that are eligible to apply for this year are a bit different from last year. So you will need to select one of the ones that's on the list currently. I don't believe that the fleet inventory is on there this year. That being said, if you do need support with the fleet inventory action, we have a great energy team that can assist you with that. And I can put you in contact with the energy team, and they can help guide you with that action.
Okay, I just use that as an example of the first thing that came to mind. There are obviously other things as well, and I haven't taken a look to see what our submission has been for this past year for a Brunswick certification. So, but okay, I thank you very much for answering the question. Appreciate it.
And I just want to clarify that we're not PSEG. We're just a privately funded institute by PSEG. We're housed at Montclair State University, and we're a part of Montclair State University.
Okay.
Hi, I have a question. How are you? I'm sorry, I joined a little late. This is being recorded. It will be posted.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so I'm the new sustainability officer for Montclair Township. And I know that my environmental commission already submitted an application for Sustainable Jersey. My first question is, can I get like a copy of that? Because unfortunately, one of the chairs is really, really busy right now. So trying to track that down has been difficult, so that I know what actions still need to happen. And if I do take part in this program, which by the way, I'm also a professor at Montclair State, so that if I would be able to be the professor for the student who would then work for my municipality, that would be really easy for me. Yeah, so if I do get a student, if I'm able to participate in this program, would I be able to reapply for say, like, if I'm only bronze now, if I'm only bronze, if I could be silver after these actions, is that possible for 2023? Or I'm not really sure how it exactly works.
So to answer your question about your certification, yes, I can provide you with that information. Your certification report is available publicly on our website. And I actually believe we just issued your silver certification as part of this final review period.
So it's silver. Okay, that's great.
So I can follow up with you after the webinar and give you the link to that, and you can see what was approved. In order to see what hasn't been done, or to see what maybe you were working on but didn't get approved, you would need access to the online application, which we can help you with offline as well.
Okay.
And if you do work with any of the students and complete an action that would contribute towards your certification, in order to like have that reviewed and approved, you would need to submit the full application for certification. We only review actions as part of a full certification application submission, as opposed to reviewing them on an individual basis. So I'm not sure if that answers all of your questions. And if not,
Yeah,
please
no,
just
it
let
does.
me know what I missed.
Okay, no, that's great. And I'd love to hook up with you and talk more if possible at some point.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
I see a question in the chat from Christopher that says, we are just at the beginning stages and likely will not meet the January deadline. Do you anticipate next year being similar to this year?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, unfortunately, yes. We have to talk with professors to make sure that classes are available, and to, work with Sustainable Jersey in the fall to pick out different actions for the spring. So it does fall in that timeline generally every year, because the later we wait, the farther along the semester it becomes, and the earlier we select different actions. Professors aren't always completely sure what classes they will be teaching, because some students might not sign up for a class and it might get dropped. So this was the timeline we had for this year, at least. It could be a little earlier or a little later in January next year, or a little earlier. It just kind of depends on how things fall.
This is Chris. Okay, thank you. That is really more about the timing. The action items obviously are up to the professors. I imagine they change with interest. And that's totally fine. So thanks about the
Mhm.
deadlines. That's
Mhm.
good to know for next year. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It also looked like you had a question about the diversity on boards and commissions action and
Yes.
said, can it include youth and intergenerational representation as a diversity requirement? I believe that that action is primarily based off of census data in relation to your community and then the representation on your boards and commissions. What I'll do is I can follow up with you and give you the contact information for the reviewer who reviews both that action and the community equity and diversity profile action. And she can give you some better guidance about what it is that they're specifically looking to see in those reports and the assessment.
Gotcha. And of course, points notwithstanding, we'll include youth and other people too, but just curious for the points. Thank you.
Hi, guys. I have a question.
Sure.
It's Carrie. I'm in Verona. I'm new to the green team. So right now, our green team is deciding on the actions that we want to pursue. And the plan is to work on them for all of 2023 and then not apply until 2024. So could we use a student in 2023 for actions that we are planning on submitting in 2024?
Yes, definitely. The majority of the actions now, and let me just take a quick look. I believe that all of these actions have a look back period of the current or previous year.
Okay.
So whatever you complete this year would be eligible for your submission
2024.
next year.
Okay. And is there a limit on the number of students that we can request? Is it just one, or can we get more than one?
Depending on availability, you could get more than one.
Okay.
It just depends on how many municipalities sign up, and are matched. There could be a surplus of students, there might not be. It just,
Okay.
depends on who applies.
Sure. No, I was just wondering if there was a limit. One.
Are you interested in more than one student?
We may be, we have an ambitious plan to go to silver, and there's a lot of actions, and we're right next door to you guys, so it would be convenient.
Yes.
So I was just wondering if there was a limit. Okay, that was it.
No.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Kathleen, I just want to let you know I saw your comment about also being interested in the diversity actions. So I will pass along Melanie's contact information to you as well. Are there any other questions? All right, well, I don't see any other ones, but if you think of any, please don't hesitate to reach out. Even if it's like some of these questions where you're just trying to get a feel for, is this action right for me to work on? Just reach out to Maureen and let her know, and we can give you the reviewer's contact information so that you can talk it over with them a little bit more and see if it is something that you would be interested in pursuing. All right. Well, with that, we'll end the info session today. I just want to thank Emma again and her colleagues from Montclair State for helping support us in this initiative. And we hope to receive some applications from you all in January.
Yeah, thank you all for attending. I look forward to
Bye.
working with some of you.